People often say that traveling together strengthens relationships, and I think that's true, but not for the reason most people think. It's not just the romance. It's not the beautiful scenery. It's definitely not the hotel rooms. What travel actually does is something much simpler and much more powerful. It gives couples something that most of us quietly lose in everyday life: presence. One of my favorite things about traveling is wandering. Walking through a new city with absolutely no agenda, stopping for coffee when you feel like it, sitting somewhere beautiful just to watch people, finding a small restaurant and lingering over a meal. When you travel like that, something interesting happens. You stop managing life. You stop rushing from one obligation to the next. And instead, you start experiencing things together. You notice the architecture. You notice the food. And more importantly, you start noticing each other. In everyday life, couples are often running a household more than they're experiencing a relationship. There are schedules, work deadlines, kids, errands, bills, responsibilities. And slowly, without meaning to, the relationship becomes logistical. You talk about what needs to happen, but you stop talking about what you're experiencing. Travel interrupts that pattern. Suddenly, you're exploring again. You're curious again. You're side by side discovering something new. And that shared experience is incredibly powerful. But here's the interesting thing. You don't actually need a plane ticket to create that feeling. What couples really need isn't necessarily travel. What they need are moments that they are stopping, managing life, and starting experiencing it again. Moments where they're not just talking about logistics, but doing something side by side. This is one of the reasons I love cooking together as a couple, because cooking creates that same dynamic. You're collaborating, you're laughing, you're tasting something new, you're solving little problems together. It's surprisingly similar to walking through a new city. You're present, you're curious, and you're creating something together. When couples travel, they often say something interesting when they get home. They say, "That was the most connected we felt in a long time." And usually they think the connection came from the destination. But more often it came from the experience. The walking together, the talking together, the shared discovery. The simple act of slowing down enough to notice each other again. Travel reminds us of something important. Connection doesn't come from grand gestures. It comes from shared experiences. From moments where two people stop rushing through life and start living it side by side again. Sometimes that happens in a beautiful place across the world. Sometimes it can happen right in your own kitchen. I'm Krista, the relationship chef, and I believe that some of the best conversations couples ever have happen while doing something together. If you want to learn more about shared experiences, hop into my school community, The Relationship Chef, or DM me if you want to know all about the Chef's Table Couples Experience. This is where I take you to Europe, show you around, and let you experience the very best memories you can create together as a couple. And yep, it involves cooking. We'll see you soon.